right? This is how far Kendrick support takes him. And this is how far Drake support takes him. Drake doesn't have that support anymore. Drops here. Kendrick support is still just taking him to where he has always been. But now, because he's competing against Drake, this gap here is super glaring. That's what we're saying. I don't think at this point, Kendrick has gotten... What are your thoughts on the Grammys? Because, some of the big highlights, Doechii won Best Rap Album. Yeah, so the third woman to win it. Beyoncé finally wins Album of the Year. Kendrick Lamar, Not Like Us. Yeah. Country Album of the Year. Yeah. Kendrick Lamar, Not Like Us, 4 Grammys and another feature, so 5 Grammys in total for the night. And everyone seemed happy, when Kendrick, for example, went for his award for Record of the Year. Not Like Us was playing, Beyonce was dancing, Taylor Swift was vibing. Yeah, she was having a great time. And everyone just seemed happy and things were just going as it should be at the Grammys this time around. Thames won the Global Music Award. Shakir was there speaking, debuting his new face and body and all that stuff.
Military
way. And yeah, it was an interesting award show. But what are your thoughts? With the moment I said Beyonce something, you already...
Yeah, I feel like for sure, I've seen a few clips of some people, mostly the country fanatics, right? They feel like, she shouldn't have had like the best album for a country like album. And I feel like, I don't also know a lot of the songs from the album. I don't think it was that successful that she would win that. And just thinking that Jay-Z was just talking about this, like she hasn't won like Album of the Year, blah, blah, blah. I mean, she has won a lot of Grammy Awards, right? So her not winning the Album of the Year, maybe she should have, but now just giving her the following year, I feel like that is definitely an interesting one. And Kendrick winning all this for Not Like Us. I feel like at this point though, this is interesting. I feel like at this point, it seems like the power that supports or that are behind Drake's huge success, they sort of shifted to Kendrick. I honestly don't feel like it's as organic as it is or as I thought it was, and that scares me.
I agree on that Beyonce's Album of the Year, winning it with an album that is maybe contestable. I mean, she deserved it before anyways, but she's now won it with an album that you could say it's arguable that maybe she didn't fully deserve this one. That's a bit tricky. But the Kendrick one, I think Not Like Us was definitely Record of the Year.
No.
Yeah. I just want to say the success of the stuff, of course, he had his own machine behind him. And that machine that was behind him has always been behind him. I think Kendrick usually, because he goes away a lot, we don't know. But every time he comes, people glaze on Kendrick. Like, he already had this glazing. I think what happened wasn't more that they, at least from my perspective, wasn't more that they shifted towards Kendrick. They just left Drake's back. And that's... So let's say Kendrick would normally do this, and Drake would normally do this because he had support, right? This is how far Kendrick support takes him. And this is how far Drake support takes him. Drake doesn't have that support anymore. Drops here. Kendrick support is still just taking him to where he has always been. But now, because he's competing against Drake, this gap here is super glaring. That's what we're saying. I don't think at this point, Kendrick has gotten that much more than he normally gets when he drops really solid stuff. It's not the first time. There was a Control verse. I think what just happened is that Drake lost his own support. I don't think they fell behind Kendrick and then pushed him to newer heights. I don't see Kendrick as if he has arrived in a new height that he has never arrived before. Exactly.
No, my point is, I have a conspiracy theory. I feel like there was a time, right, where when Drake came out, and I think he sort of chose a side when he in the whole Palestine and Israel thing going on. So that for me, I feel like you might have stepped on the wrong. And we know how the entertainment industry in the US, I mean, a few powerful Jewish people are there, right? So now coming out to openly support, I'll show you support for Palestine. I don't know. I mean, you might just feel like it might not mean anything. But looking at things they've done to Ye and, you know how these things goes, right? Like, so for me, I'm having this sort of conspiracy theory when it comes to like, maybe, it's sort of, some people just feel like, nah, I mean,
So even without the Palestine bit, I think the powers that be are no longer behind Drake. I agree with you on that. Where I'm a little bit iffy on is if they are falling behind Kendrick. Because I don't see that Kendrick has attained newer heights. That's what I meant, At some point, he was going to get the Super Bowl anyways, for example. You know what I mean? At some point. He had already performed there.
Yeah.
I don't think it's newer heights that they wouldn't have achieved without this happening. But I think they definitely left Drake's back. Yeah, but I'm not sure they fell behind Kendrick, but they definitely, it's glaring.
Yeah, that's my point. Yeah.
Before, if Drake takes one step anywhere, you would know, everyone, you know what I mean? Like, it's clear, but now they're definitely not behind him. And I think he will struggle if he wants to continue with music. A lot of people still love Drake and all that stuff, but I don't think without them, I don't think it would go as big or bigger than he has gone before. And I wish him all the best. There's an album coming out. Everyone is expecting it. I've been seeing a lot of females on my Instagram saying they're really looking forward to it. So I think that one we'll see.
I am also, actually. I think he's going to be fire. Yeah, I listened to like him and Party Next Door. Yeah, I think it's a joint album, actually. I think it should be fire. But that's sad, because this is exactly playing to Kendrick's game, right? It's like, I love the Drake that sings, I don't want him rapping. And after this whole KO, right? And that's what he went back to. I'm like, damn, this must really not be comfortable for Drake at all. But he has to do something, right?
It's tough. It's tough. But the Grammys, interesting.